You had heard about Dak Prescott receiving that exclusive franchise tag, as we expected, $33 million. And this is something that we were expecting, but the Cowboys also have to have an eye toward the future, because in a year, we're going to see quarterback salaries skyrocket. Hello, Patrick Mahomes. Hello, Deshaun Watson, Judy.
Well, this has to just be a placeholder, and hopefully, for the Dallas Cowboys' sake, a short-term placeholder, because they got to get this contract done as fast as they can, because, nobody wants to have to do the contract after Patrick Mahomes gets his deal, because that's the one that's going to blow the roof off the NFL. So they got to get Dak under the long-term deal. I mean, this is good for now, because now they can turn their attention and get Amari Cooper wrapped up. But, it's hard for me to get too excited about this. They got to get the long-term deal done with Dak.
Yeah, when it comes to deals, the waiting is the hardest part sometimes. And listen, the Dallas Cowboys have no one to blame but themselves. They're in this position because they've waited so long. They could have locked Dak up a couple years ago.
And they prioritized,
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Zeke is great.
Zeke Elliott, and they paid other players. So this, to me, the only issue I have with this from a player standpoint is, now Dak Prescott has been your unquestioned leader. He has done everything you've ever asked him to do since he showed up. He has won you football games. He's been great in the locker room. If you can't pay Dak Prescott, how can you pay anybody else on your team? So I don't think it has hurt him not having this deal in the locker room from a leadership standpoint. But I think going forward, don't you want your quarterback to feel valued? Don't you want him to know that, look, we are going to find a way to get this done? And to your point, Judy, I hope that this is the franchise tag in why this was designed for. It was designed to give you more time to sign a guy long-term. Dak Prescott, no doubt, deserves to have that deal. And I think for him, listen, the longer this has gone on, the more money it's made him. So I think the long-term deal is inevitable, and I think it's just a matter of time before the Joneses figure out how we're going to get him in this deal.
Speaking of the Joneses figuring it out, call me crazy. I think this makes sense because they just bought themselves time. They can get Amari Cooper done. He's as we know, newsflash, he's really important to what they do. When he came aboard, all of a sudden, all he did was help the Cowboys win games.
Changed, yeah.
We can't forget the impact he had, and we think still can have down there. So I have to believe this is a time buyer. It makes sense to do it. Dak isn't going anywhere. We know that. And I have to believe there's a plan there that will ultimately result in them getting their playmakers, including their quarterback, all under contract for this season.
All right, so let's think about this. So Ryan Tannehill ends up signing a contract for 4 years, $62 million.
Good for him, by the way.
He played extremely well for the half season when he took over for Marcus Mariota. But if you're Dak Prescott and you're looking at this, and now he's making a shade under $30 million a year for Ryan Tannehill. So if you are negotiating and you are in Dak Prescott's camp, how are you looking at this, Judy?
Well, I go back to what Sean said, like how you're looking at it big picture. And I'm thinking, like, you didn't prioritize me. And now you're going to pay for that. You're going to have to pay a premium for it. You should have put me first. All due respect to Zeke Elliott, who is terrific. They should have put the quarterback first. They didn't. And now they're going to have to pay the price for it. You're looking at Tannehill. You're looking at all of the contracts that are coming. I think you go to the Joneses and say, hey, look, do you want us to follow Patrick Mahomes? Okay, we'll wait.
It's so unorthodox.
It is, but let's be honest. Have the Dallas Cowboys done anything by the book since Jerry Jones took over? I mean, he does things the way that he wants to do it. And I think in this situation, this is going to end up making Dak Prescott one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the history of the game. And I think a lot of it, he should be, because contracts are based on timing. And what better time than to be a free agent than with this new CBA? The numbers are going to ratchet up over the next couple of years. But the one thing that Dak Prescott has had to fight his entire career, and I fought it as well coming in as an undrafted free agent, he was a fourth-round pick. Guess what? That sticks with you. Don't tell Tom Brady that he wasn't the 199th pick of the sixth-round pick. That stays with you, and it stays with you when it comes to contracts, too. If Dak Prescott was a first-round pick, this deal would have already been done as of a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. Look at Goff, look at Wentz.
I have to believe that Mike McCarthy took that job believing he was going to have Dak Prescott as his quarterback. I think it gets done. I guess I'm slightly maybe down a notch in terms of anxiety over it and that sort of thing, because it can all still happen.